to this free trade area. All you need to know here on the link. You're very welcome, Stephen Kamkama from the Ministry of Trade, to the link.
Thank you, Malcolm, for having me. Good evening, viewers.
Great. Stephen Kamkama is the Principal Commercial Officer at the Ministry of Trade, and the COMESA Free Trade Area, launched in 2000, is supposed to offer, quota-free, duty-free, to products that are coming from, COMESA countries. Okay, and then we have now 16 countries, plus the other day we had the Democratic Republic of Congo, which signed on, and it has a large market area as well, which should initially offer opportunities for that. But we want you to first explain to us what is this COMESA Free Trade Area from where you see it, and Uganda is actually part, and what are the real opportunities that are there in for Ugandans?
COMESA has 21 member countries. Out of those, we have 16 countries that are members of the COMESA FTA, and of those, Uganda is a member. The COMESA FTA is a region within which the members have agreed to remove tariffs. They have removed non-tariff barriers. They have eased the trade between themselves. The tariffs have been removed on goods which originate from the member states.
Yeah, sure.
These are goods which have been either wholly produced, entirely produced, processed substantially from within the member states. So they maintain third-party tariffs which are higher for goods which are coming from other countries other than the member states. So you ask, then what are the benefits?
What are the benefits? Yeah.
Yes. How does a member state, how does a business person, a trader benefit from this? Now, like I said, we have removed tariffs. So the tariffs are zero for all the goods except the excluded goods. They are very small in number. And for all these other goods, you can export without paying import duty.
Are we at zero yet? Because
yes.
I think it started, what was that, 20 or?
For Uganda, we are at zero. For all other goods except the excluded goods, they are just fewer in number, but for the viewers, they include diapers, they include electronics, they include sugar, rice, products which are considered sensitive under the ESC region. So those products are excluded, but all the others can be exported at zero to the 15 countries. You mentioned DRC. DRC has already passed the law, but they have not started the implementation.
They have not started the
implementation. So the 15 countries, which include Rwanda, Kenya, Zambia, Mauritius, Malawi, Comoros, Madagascar, Seychelles, Egypt, Libya. These are countries, and Djibouti, these are countries that have already, also have Sudan, that have already started the implementation at 0%. So you can export all those goods except these excluded ones I've mentioned at 0%. And that gives a cost reduction immediately to the business community. That means they have that saving, which can then turn into their profits. And of course, as I mentioned, we also reduce the non-tariff barriers. So because we reduce the non-tariff barriers are these barriers which they encounter as they cross between the countries. They find a roadblock here, the standards are so high. We have harmonized standards in COMESA and also in ESC. The standards are so high, the regulations are inconsistent, and some of them are not necessary. There are so many barriers they find as they trade. and as a result, the cost of doing business becomes so high in the region. We have harmonized those, and we have a framework for removing non-tariff barriers. So if they encounter, the business community encounters the non-tariff barriers, they report them to us as government, Ministry of Trade and other government agencies, and we take on any government that is...
And then you try to solve the problems, but the issue of roadblocks is still disturbing, traders. I personally have witnessed that, but maybe that's another level now. But let's not talk about those that would need to export or import, in these markets. What does a Ugandan need to know? Because there are people here, manufacturing, they have their goods. They need to explore other markets which are present in this free trade area. What do I need to know? What are those basics that I need to know?
Marco, what I said is that these are goods originating from Uganda.
Exactly.
So for you to be able to take the advantage, to be able to export without paying the duty, you must prove that the goods are from Uganda. So we have what we call the rules of origin. Any producer, any trader who is targeting to trade under COMESA must comply with the rules of origin. And to do that, there are farm level preparations which they have to make. They have to make sure that the goods, if processed, they meet the thresholds as required under COMESA. For example, if it is value addition, you must have done value addition up to 35%. If it is on foreign material in the goods, the CIF, cost insurance and freight level, must be not more than 60%. So now at farm level, the trader must know, the producer must know that and comply. But beyond that, they have to comply with border procedures. They have to do on their own market research and development. But beyond that, then the market is open for them. Yeah.
What has been the trend? Have you seen, people, is there growth in those that are, utilizing these opportunities in the free trade area? What has been happening in the last 2 years, for instance?
We are seeing a change. As we grew up in the early years of 70s, 90s, up to the 2000, we had Europe as the major export destination. Right now, COMESA region is Uganda's major export destination. Almost half of our products are exported to the COMESA region. And we are seeing new countries coming on board. I would take this opportunity to encourage the traders, the producers in Uganda, to take advantage of this arrangement. So we are seeing some countries starting to import from Uganda. Right now, DRC, even when they are not yet in the COMESA FTA, they have not started the implementation, but they are our second largest country next to Kenya in terms of exports. We're exporting in the region of 400 million to DRC. But we also have other countries like Sudan. We also have Zambia. And I encourage the business community to look at Zambia. We have a competitive advantage in Uganda. We grow products which other countries don't have. If you look at our fruits, if you look at our bananas, these are trending products in the region. And you'd be surprised, there's a COMESA market in Zambia. If you go there, you'll find these products are demanded like a hotcake. And then we have these other manufactured products like plastics, like iron, steel, cement. They are all going to the region. So what we encourage the business community to do is to get out there and try to understand what is happening in those markets, we can use the business community can use the government infrastructure. We can link them to the buyers, the business community. Sometimes we have Ugandan business community staying in those countries, and those can be used as a link to enter the markets in those areas.
But how because what exactly is still standing in the way of those who might be interested but have found it difficult, even with non-tariff barriers, even with duty-free environment? What could be standing in the way of us from where you sit? What hasn't for instance, government done, or what haven't these people done, these business people done, to take advantage of the free trade area?
I think one of the challenges as government, it is still our challenge, is to reach out to the business community, to give out as much market information, as much as the procedures that we have removed, so that they can understand the opportunities that exist. And we are starting. We've now organized in Zambia. We are organizing the business community there. Our Ugandan business community is doing it in Zambia, and we are trying to link them through our embassy, which is based in Tanzania. It takes the entire region to see that they can now begin attracting business community from Uganda. But what also happens is that in the process of trade, the private sector encounters the non-tariff barriers. Sometimes they encounter them and deal with them individually, and they don't get to us, so that we can actually engage the government, the responsible government, so that those NTBs, we call them NTBs in short, are removed.
It's actually good that you're talking about them coming to you, but it becomes difficult. People find it, I don't know whether it's a perception issue or it is because there's always this line of where do I go, where do I meet Stephen? If I go to the Ministry of Trade, people don't even, some of them don't even have an email. Some of them don't even, if I need information about this opportunity, the free trade area in COMESA markets, where do I find it? How can I? And you know the majority of people that I'm talking about.
Yes.
They are those people who are down there, have their money and want to do business, but accessing, policymakers is not as easy.
It's difficult. I think we are trying to get out. We are trying to open up for the business community. Right now we have what we call a COMESA desk at the ministry, and the ministry is located at Farmers House, Parliamentary Avenue. Anyone who comes and asks for the COMESA desk, we have various officers who are able to provide this information. But the website, our ministry website, also has a number of the related information which they can on their own read.
Is it sufficient?
It is not sufficient.
Most of the information on government websites, I'm very sorry to say, is always, you find the update today and then the other day there's no.
It's not sufficient, but what is also provided there is the link for contacting us.
Yeah, sure.
So that in the event that you find there's some more information you need, you can contact us. There's COMESA website, which is also providing as much information on what one needs to do in order to trade within the region.
And telephone numbers that can be picked when someone calls. You can imagine you're calling a 041 something and no one picks. It frustrates sometimes.
Exactly. But our numbers are on. I don't know whether you want us to.
Please, this is the link. We're trying to link people to business. So please feel free to go ahead and read the numbers for them.
We have 0414 213 517. That number can be.
You can repeat that. 0414
213
517.
That number can be called and we can respond to it. We have, that's the official number, but we have as many other numbers which right now the official one is the best because the other ones may be not so direct for people who are inquiring. But we also have the Private Sector Foundation Uganda, Uganda Revenue Authority. These are all our partners we work with.
As and when they need.
Export Promotion Board, yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Stephen. I know this topic is really very wide. We should come back to you, the Ministry of Trade and other agencies, to try and explain to the business community and anyone who could be interested in taking advantage of the COMESA free trade area. As you have heard, everything is possible and all the barriers have been removed. Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome, sir.
Next time, and that's the link.
Thank you.